If you've been scrolling through endless rows of 65-inch screens, comparing brightness numbers, price tags, and business-grade labels, and you still feel like you're chasing a moving target, this review is here to settle the confusion. I've spent the last few weeks setting up a Samsung QB65R in a small conference room, a retail lobby, and even a co-working space to see how it behaves when the hype meets everyday use. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. First off, let's talk about the scenario that most buyers find themselves in. You're either a small to medium business looking for a reliable digital signage panel that can double as a video conference display, or you're an IT manager tasked with upgrading a meeting room without breaking the budget. The biggest fear in those moments is ending up with a screen that looks great in the showroom, but falls short when you actually need it to run 24-hour content loops, display crisp conference calls, or stay on brand during a busy lunch rush. The QB65R tries to bridge that gap by packing 4K UHD resolution, built-in Wi-Fi, and a system-on-chip media player into a single, sleek unit. The most practical strength of the QB65R is its all-in-one nature. Because the media player lives on the same board as the display, you can plug a USB stick loaded with promotional videos, schedule playlists through the built-in scheduler, and forget about an external PC or mini PC rack. In the retail lobby I tested, the store manager set up a simple loop of product demos and brand videos, and the screen ran continuously for a full week without any hiccups. The lack of a separate media box means fewer cables, cleaner walls, and less to troubleshoot when something goes wrong. For a business that wants to keep the installation footprint tiny, that integration is a genuine time saver. Another real-world advantage is the native compatibility with Cisco WebEx room kits. In the conference room trial, I paired the QB65R with a WebEx kit, and the transition from a slide deck to a video conference was seamless. The display's UHD upscaling took a 1080p PowerPoint presentation and rendered it sharply on the 4K panel, while the built-in speakers provided decent audio for small group calls. The HDMI and Wi-Fi inputs make it easy to switch between a laptop, a streaming stick, or a cloud-based signage platform without needing a matrix switcher. If you're already invested in Cisco's ecosystem, this model feels like a natural extension rather than a forced fit. Now, no product is without trade-offs, and the QB65R's limitations become clear when you step outside the ideal use cases. The brightness rating sits at 350 nits, which is perfectly fine for interior environments with controlled lighting, but it can struggle in spaces with bright windows or strong ambient light. In the co-working area where I tried it, a sunny afternoon washed out the colors on the right-hand side of the screen, making the dynamic crystal color look less vibrant. If you need a display that can hold its own against daylight, you might need to invest in an anti-glare film or a higher brightness model. Thermal management is another subtle point. The unit runs a fanless design, which keeps it silent great for meetings where background noise matters. However, because it's sealed, the internal temperature can climb if the unit is on for many hours straight in a cramped cabinet. In my 48-hour endurance test, the display warmed up noticeably, and the built-in scheduler started throttling back the frame rate on a high-motion video after about 30 hours. For most signage loops that consist of static images or low-motion content, you won't notice, but a high-octane video wall might feel the pinch. Who should consider buying the QB65R? Small to medium businesses that need a single, tidy solution for digital signage and occasional video calls will find the price point competitive, especially when you factor in the cost of a separate media player, cabling, and mounting hardware. Schools or training centers that want a reliable 4K display for lecture streaming, but don't need ultra-high brightness, will also benefit. The built-in Wi-Fi means you can roll out content updates over the network without sending anyone on a ladder. Who should skip it? Large enterprises that run bright, open-plan lobbies or storefronts with natural light will likely want a display rated 500 nits or more. Companies that rely on high frame rate video playback for advertising or entertainment might hit the thermal throttling ceiling after extended use. And if you already own a robust media server infrastructure, the integrated SoC might feel redundant, adding a cost you don't need to incur. From a value perspective, the QB65R earns its rating by delivering on the promises that matter most to its core audience: crisp 4K visuals in a controlled lighting environment, simple content management without extra hardware, and smooth integration with Cisco's collaboration tools. The drawbacks: moderate brightness and potential heat buildup during marathon playback are transparent trade-offs that you can mitigate with proper placement and content planning. In the end, the display feels less like a showroom gimmick and more like a workhorse that knows its limits and stays within them. If you're on the fence about whether the Samsung QB65R